Well, hello there, friends. Are you finding it more difficult to lose weight, especially that belly area, that belly fat? Eek, right? Like, just can't make it go away, right? Just doesn't want to go. Complaint of women in perimenopause, menopause, probably women of all ages, but it gets worse as you get older. We've been talking about the most common symptoms related to this phase of life. Okay, we've covered hot flashes, night sweats, worsening PMS, changes in menstruation, vaginal dryness, insomnia, mood swings, anxiety, depression, and brain fog. There's a lot, right? Now we're talking today about belly fat and losing weight. Okay, so let's discuss this stubborn area, these weight issues. Maybe your weight is okay, but it's kind of redistributed and you can't button your jeans anymore. Okay, I don't think that's always due to the pandemic and COVID, and but if you really haven't been overeating and your weight is okay, but again, it's just kind of shifting. Um, it doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be that way. So understand that things that worked for weight loss in your 20s and 30s are just not going to work in your 40s and 50s and beyond. Okay, you can't just like not eat for a day and lose 5 pounds. Like you remember those days when you could just like go work out all day long, not eat anything, and 5 pounds came off, and you were like, woohoo, everything fits. That's not going to happen. Okay. So high intensity workouts won't do it either. All right. They actually put more stress on your body, especially as you get older, especially in perimenopause, and may signal your body to say, hey, things are bad, things are stressing. We need to save calories, we need to store fat, okay, as a mechanism, like a protection mechanism. Which you say to yourself, like, no, that's not what I want. But that is what your body interprets that as a stressor. So, gentle workouts, resistance training, walking, yoga, Pilates, they'll be more effective for weight loss. They're less stressful on the body, and the body doesn't see it as a need to go into protection mode. Now, according to a Dr. Stephanie Estima, I watched a podcast, listened to a podcast, and watched a video presentation from her. I thought she was awesome. Okay, she says there are actually ways to eat and exercise both in perimenopause. She actually talks about all different phases, but to eliminate or greatly reduce the symptoms of dysmenorrhea, PMS, heavy bleeding, etc. Okay, she says there are two phases, and we know this, of their menstrual cycle. The follicular phase, which are the first 2 weeks, and that's where your body is preparing for ovulation. And then after you ovulate, you go into the luteal phase, which is the part of the cycle where your hormones really can change if you experience stressors or have lots of inflammation in the body. Understanding the luteal phase is when the body is actually trying to build up that endometrial lining to support a pregnancy, should you be trying to get pregnant or get pregnant. Um, Again, whether a pregnancy is there or not, your body doesn't know that yet. So it's trying to do that. So, the fourth week of your cycle, before you would get your period, the body is actually utilizing more nutrients. It's utilizing more glucose, more amino acids, more free fatty acids. So, at a higher rate to build up, like to create this new, she calls it a new organ, an endometrial lining of the uterus. And this may translate to your body requiring more calories. Now, by more calories, that doesn't mean a bag of potato chips or candy or ice cream. That actually may translate to 10 to 15% increase in good life giving foods, we call it. Extra 150 maybe to 200 calories per day, which may be an extra protein bar or more green leafy vegetables or another piece of lean protein or fish or something like that. Life-giving foods um, that understand that that last week of increased calories done right will not stay on as weight gain. If you're not pregnant, it will be shed when you have your period, when you menstruate. But if you don't increase those calories, the chances are you will develop cravings and you will crash and burn. Okay. And you'll end up sitting in the corner eating an entire bag of potato chips and be like really mad at yourself. Okay. So understand that eating foods that promote inflammation during that time, also things like dairy and gluten, processed foods, refined sugars, trans fats, bad fats, that kind of stuff, is going to do the same thing. It's going to continue the symptoms that make you feel lousy during your period, and it's going to continue those bad cravings and make you want to eat more. Your body needs more calories that last week, but they need to be good calories. So this Dr. Estima, she actually recommends eating differently each week of your cycle and actually working out differently each week of your cycle, which I thought was fascinating. Okay. And she has science behind it. And her story was basically that she went on vacation. And normally when she's on vacation, if you get your period on vacation, it's like, darn, like the whole thing is ruined, especially if you have bad periods. And she was much more relaxed and much more like just easygoing, and she had a pretty easy period that month, and she started to try and recreate it, and she used science behind it to create this weekly type of eating and weekly type of exercising that would support your body to, again, eliminate cravings, eliminate some of the symptoms. So we are going to talk about that on Thursday. So sorry to give you all of that hype and then leave you, but come back Thursday and I'm going to share more of that information with you so that you can then, in perimenopause, create this pattern for yourself. If you're in menopause, you can still create it because you're still cyclical. You just have to create your own 4 weeks and stick to it. And I think it's awesome. I think it's going to be great. I'm already working on it, so hopefully you guys will join me. So, on that note, hope you're having an awesome day, and I will see you on Thursday for another Live in 5.